Hello, everyone. Welcome to Inside Infinity episode number 30. I can't believe it's 30. Recorded February 10th, 2014. As always, I am Will. I always forget to say my name when I introduce the show. And with me, as always, I have Jason. How are you doing tonight, Jason?
Very well. Howdy ho, listeners. Howdy ho, team.
I didn't know where you were going with that. That kind of worried me. I'm like, oh, what's he saying?
What are you going to do?
I mean, I knew it was
just g'day, mates.
Australia.
There you go.
That's what we're used to.
G'day, mates.
A good old Melbourne g'day.
Yep.
Next up, I am kind of sad and disappointed in our next guest, our friend from the VG Podcasting Network, Lloyd Hannison. What are you doing here, my friend?
I'm playing my new PlayStation 4 that's 3 hours old on my Vita right now.
Look at you being
It's turned off. I'm sorry. I just had to brag that I just got it.
Well, and that's why I'm like, really? What? I mean, I appreciate your dedication to the show. All the people in the chat room, I'm sure, appreciate that. But, and even if I had the PlayStation, I would probably be playing that right now instead of being in.
I feel a cold coming on. My throat's getting.
Oh, awesome. Well, thanks for being here with us. And the next person on the list is Ryu, also known as Jake in the Neverland Pirates. And he doesn't realize this, but he is muted, and I don't know why he's muted. Oh, he's unmuted. Pirate Steve, how are you tonight, buddy?
I'm doing great. Ahoy there. I went for the youthful pirate look today.
Was it that, or is your pirate hat at the cleaners like you were saying last week?
Oh, it's gross. Yeah, I have to give it a break every now and then. Air it out.
That is too funny. Welcome tonight, my friend. I think we have a good show ahead of everyone. Hello to everyone in the chat room. We have another good group. I see a lot of Infinity fans out there, and I see Travis from Vinylmation Kingdom and a few other regulars. So hello everyone in the chat room. If you are interested in watching the show live every Monday evening and chatting with us here on the show, you can do that at InsideDisneyInfinity.com. That's it. You can watch the show and chat there. So hello, everyone. They're already giving people a hard time, which is kind of par for the course. We expect nothing less. It's all in good fun. So with that, gentlemen, what do you think? Should we go ahead and get along with the show?
Yep.
Let's do it.
I'm surprised anyone actually showed up after last week's marathon 2-hour session. I mean, it was a great session, but boy, was it a little bit. It was long.
Record-breaking.
It was record-breaking on more than one account. Cool. Well, tonight's episode isn't going to be nearly as long, but it's going to be just as entertaining and just as fun. So, don't really have any rumors for the week. Did you guys hear any rumors? All I got is factual news this week.
I heard a rumor.
Let's
buy
hear
Mickey
it.
now in stores. I heard a rumor. Some guy told me on the street. He's like, "Psst, hey, Mickey's available."
That's right.
It's kind of a rumor.
Look at that. Perfect segue. That is not a rumor. That is news, my friend.
I forgot what that word means, apparently.
Lloyd, do you get it there in Canada?
Yeah.
Yeah? I mean, do you have it already, I guess? Ooh. Why didn't you open it live? And then we could have all made fun of you and said we're not opening our copies.
Open this. I kind of like it in the box. Open it, Lloyd. All right. There. Yeah. That would have been funny. But,
I wonder if that trick works for everything. Lloyd, send me your PlayStation 4.
Okay, I'm going to box it up now. I'll be right back.
Oh, good. Oh, man, my screen didn't show up. I totally used the force on you. Jason, do you have Sorcerer Mickey yet?
I had him for like a month or something. Still mint in his box.
Well,
country of time travel, just confusing.
Even my daughter knows. She pointed it the other day and said, "Oh, can I play with that one?" And my youngest, she's 2, said to my other daughter, "No, it needs photos taken of it first." So that's how well trained my daughters are. They know nothing comes out of the box till it's photographed.
So how long have you had your Sorcerer Mickey?
Oh, long time.
And you haven't photographed it yet?
No, haven't had that moment to be able to do that. So
disappointed in you.
Soon, I promise.
See, Lloyd tore himself away from his shiny new PlayStation 4, and you can't even do that to take a couple pictures.
Assassin's Creed 4 is actually the reason I haven't taken a photo of the figure, so thank you for bringing that up.
Well, you go into Jason's house and there's no pictures of the kids on the walls. It's all his Disney Infinity figures that are still mint in the box.
I like it. That's dedication.
Yeah.
Cool, cool. All right, so yes, Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey is now available at all retailers. It was available early on, I think, at Walmart as an early release, but now you can buy them early at pretty much any retailer. But you shouldn't buy it at any retailer. You should buy it this week or today, or who knows how long the sale is going on. But a little PSA: Amazon is having a sale on all. Well, I don't think it's all, but Disney Infinity figures, which includes Sorcerer Mickey, and so you can get Sorcerer Mickey for the awesome price of $9.99. That's pretty cool. Right before show start, Pirate actually was tweeting me or texting me some pretty cool news about this. Weren't you, Pirate?
I was. It's a true story.
Do you remember what it was? Because
I
the $9.99.
I do. I went ahead and looked them up on Amazon.com, and it said that Sorcerer Mickey, out of everything they offer on Amazon.com for video games, was the #1 bestseller in all of the video games, in the top 100 on Amazon, which is pretty impressive. The PlayStation 4 was at number 14. The starter pack PlayStation 3 version was number 54. So Sorcerer Mickey's kicking some butt.
That's awesome. I mean, it's arguably probably the most popular figure we're going to see in Disney Infinity, I would imagine. And so, yeah, I think it's just really cool that they're doing these sales right off the bat. I guess maybe it's Amazon's time to capitalize on all of these early exclusive. So,
you want to know a weird thing that happened to us up here in Canada? So Sorcerer Mickey was a Walmart exclusive, but if you were living in Winnipeg like I was, the only time that you could actually find them in stores was on Sunday, on the general release. So you could have went to anywhere on Sunday to pick it up, but if you actually went to Walmart, they had lots. I don't know if they got their dates mixed up or if it's just a weird thing. Maybe they were short shipped. But on the Sunday, there was like 50 of them on store shelves. Leading up to Sunday, there was nothing. Not that I could find.
So after the fact, so maybe I don't know. I haven't heard anything official about that. So I wonder if that was a mistake, or I mean, it's pretty widespread if it was a mistake.
I know some people that got it. So it's not like we just didn't get the early release. I guess they were just really short shipped or something. But yeah, I have him, and I'm very happy with him. He looks very angry and like emo Mickey.
You picked him up this weekend?
Yeah, I picked him up.
How are the kids liking it? Liking him?
They like it. They put him on the base, and then they pick him up off the base, and that's about as far as they gotten because we haven't actually played with him yet. He's just been sitting on the desk waiting to get played with. So maybe next week.
Pirate, have you picked up a regular Mickey? I know you have the D23.
I have not yet. The $9.99 deal sounds pretty sweet, so I might either get it at Amazon or, like I like to do, like I like to pick my figures out of the store to pick the best one. I might just price match Amazon at any of the major retailers, so I can pick my own. But I definitely plan on getting the regular one, even though I do have the D23 one, just so I can have the web code to unlock all of them for the iPad, and just to have a side-by-side, and then they have the crystal ones. They have all three Mickeys next to each other. They could look nice on a shelf or displayed somewhere.
Well, and that is exactly why I am asking you, because a few people in the chat room, and I'm not just calling out his name because it's an awesome name, but William R.S. in the chat room is saying he's noticing some quality issues with his. A few others, MTM and Travis, are saying that theirs have seemed fine, but I know you are pretty particular about your Infinity figures, so I thought you may want to go in store and pick it up.
Hey, as long as they have two eyebrows, I'm usually good.
That's your.
You gotta look at I look at the face first. If it has a decent painted face, then I can accept that and move on.
Is your D23 pretty good? Because mine
Yeah.
looks pretty good. I have one kind of spot on it, but other than that, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, I would say so.
Nice. Cool. Well, yeah, that is really exciting news, and I know lots of people out there really, really excited to see that. So make sure you go and pick them up. Gotten them yet? Amazon is a good place, or see if you can get it price matched. All right, now on to the next bit of news, and I actually got a tweet today, right before show start, from Coasty77 asking about when the new Power Disc were coming out. And good news, Series 3 Power Disc are going to be available April 1st, along with Phineas and Agent P toy box sets. So that's really cool, really exciting. But the big news here, Jason, if you want to go ahead and pull this up, this is something that kind of caught us by surprise here on the show, and I think a lot of others out there as well. So the third series doesn't look like it's going to include all of the discs that we originally thought. It looks like all of the so the third series will consist of just 15 discs regular, as opposed to the usual 20, as 5 of the 10 discs sold by Toys R Us will actually, in fact, remain exclusive. So for those that were holding off on some of those exclusive discs, it looks like some of them may not actually be showing up in that Series 3 set. Don't know which ones that is going to include.
I wonder if we'll get them in Australia, because we didn't have, what was it, Toys R Us exclusives?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, so we didn't have that, so we'll probably get them here. So just come over to Australia and get them.
Well, and there's still no word yet on if we're going to see a pack like we have seen for Series 2. So I don't know. But if it's not, I think that would be pretty crummy if those abroad that do not have Toys R Us's, if they don't have the ability to pick up those exclusive discs. So, cool.
I still have my fingers crossed. I still have my fingers crossed that we're going to get an album with the complete set, like Target released.
I really hope so too. It would probably be a less costful one than the last one we got, and that would be awesome. I know the three of us got them. Jason still hasn't gotten them. I haven't been able to find them in stores since right off the bat. So yeah, hopefully we get that. So Travis in the chat room saying all 6 of the Toys R Us exclusive not yet released are going to remain exclusive. Disney Fanatic said, "See, Lloyd, even Australia is better than Canada." No idea what that's in reference to. Depends on what part, right? Melbourne is, but not.
We're all part of the Commonwealth here. We'll see you at the games.
We have 100% less poisonous spiders though, so that's
true.
Well, you win.
Jason and I, we were talking about there's a famous race that was going on this last week in Australia, and Jason's like, "Come on down, you can stay, you can spend on the couch, whatever." And I was like, "Only if you fumigate your house, because I'm deathly afraid of spiders." Oh man, cool. Well, that is that. It's nice to see some official release dates for both the Agent P and Phineas set, as well as the Series 3 Power Disc. I'm kind of excited. I know once we get kind of these last couple releases out of the way, we're not going to have too much else besides the weekly toy box challenges to kind of keep us going. But I don't know about you guys. I'm kind of excited to just kind of complete the set and relax for a little bit before we have to move on and start collecting again. What about you, Lloyd? You're an avid collector of all things. Are you excited to just be able to relax a little bit?
Yeah, I kind of really hope that they all come in one big collection. I was actually chatting with another one of my Twitter followers, and we we're going back and forth. And the one thing that we're both not looking forward to is going to the store and having to run our nails along the packages to find the one rare that's in the set. I'm kind of done with that whole blind package thing. My 9 Stitches guns say hello, Disney. Stop putting random stuff in packages I don't want anymore.
Yeah, I stopped calculating how much I was spending on blind packs because I was starting to get depressed and unmotivated to continue. So, Awesome. Well, let's move things along. We have one other news item, and this is something I just wanted to highlight. A friend of the show, Chad Liddell, you've heard us mention him quite a bit. He has his own personal Tumblr, which is chadliddell.tumblr.com. And this week, he made a blog post that was just really, really cool. So he had posted some of these awards before the launch of Disney Infinity, but he couldn't reference what the projects were that he was awarded those from. So now, obviously, Disney Infinity is out, and he was actually able to post like this top one up here, or the one Jason is showing is you can see that that is directly related to Disney Infinity. So he said just a few highlights of this. He said. Let me see if I can read this. So the first three are pictured. He said he was given because of his design work on Disney Infinity that resulted in patents for Disney. He said he's particularly proud of the award that is shown top center. So if you want to go back to that one real quick, Jason. So top center, he received it for conceiving and designing the logic and creativity toy system in the toy box. So basically, we have Chad to thank for those pieces of the toy box. He said the other one that he had, which shows the three Mickeys, is a Disney Employee Recognition Award that he received a couple years ago, and he had actually posted it previously, but again, since Infinity wasn't released at the time, he couldn't really talk about it. The inscription on the reward says, as a part of Avalanche team working on Disney Infinity, Chad leads and acts with enthusiasm. He had a vision for the toy box that extended beyond common ground and a drive that allowed him to, in essence, change the game. His efforts provide an experience so compelling that the toy box is now the centerpiece of the Disney Infinity experience. So that is really cool. Just wanted to give him props. Not that he needs it from us, but those are really cool awards. And said he took a lot of time. Side note is he took a lot of time photographing these, and yeah, they came out great. But that's cool. It's just cool to know that. There's Chad had such a big impact on the toy box. I mean, he's commented on things here and there, but I don't think it's ever really been said publicly how much of his involvement was in Disney Infinity. He talked with us quite a bit on the 25-hour marathon with Children's Miracle Network, and he told us a little bit about that. But it was cool. It was cool seeing these awards. So cool. What do you guys think? That is it for the news this week. We actually had some news items, and yeah, but I don't know what we're gonna do. I mean, we might have to start singing and dancing. That was a little quick. I don't know what to do with myself.
DuckTales, anyone?
Okay. I'm sure if Steve C, he would have already had it queued up.
It's true.
We'll have to do it a cappella so we don't get pulled off YouTube.
I think so. I think we should still try to do it. Oh, you guys, I gotta tell you a story. I totally forgot about this, and I'm really glad Lloyd just reminded me. I kid you not. I woke up the other day with 12 Days of Infinity stuck in my head. I had no idea where it came from because I hadn't heard like 12 Days of Christmas. I mean, we're in February, but I woke up with it in my head, and I'm like, really? It's like the curse of 12 Days of Infinity.
It was all because of that. Put it right deep in your mind.
I think it probably was. Yeah, except it was Steve C doing that instead of pre-recorded. But yeah, that's probably what it was.
That would be a good sound effect to play on D-Res every once in a while.
I think so. In fact, whenever Steve's on the show, we should just randomly throw it in there. See if he notices. So, Steve, if you're listening to this, erase the last 15 seconds of your mind, so we can surprise you with that. Cool. Let's continue on. Now it's time for that part of the show that we discuss every week. It's Jason's favorite part of the show, and it's my favorite part to listen. So let's discuss the Winter Challenge, which was the top 5 toy boxes of the week. So, Jason, you just want to run those down?
Yeah, I'll play some footage of my live review while I'm doing it. I'm not a winter sports fan. I am
Are
watching
you an
some
Olympics
of the
fan?
I am watching some of the Olympics, but it's obviously on in the middle of the night over here. I think it's on at like when I get home from work at like 6 a.m. in the morning. I think I catch the tail end of the day. So, but yeah, no, I'm not really a snow person as such. So,
Is it because Australia does better in the winter or in the summer Olympic Games than they do the winter games? It's
I
okay.
don't, I don't know. I'm just not. I just let's not discuss. we do. We kick butt in the Commonwealth Games, and everything else is a bit wish-wash. I think we've got like a handful of athletes over there at the moment, but I have not seen a single one of them. But anyway, so point is, not huge into the winter sports, so my review is a little bit skewed this week. But in saying that, I started off, which I think what we've got on the moment here, I believe, is someone help. It's either Winter Resort. I think it's Winter Resort. Fairly positive
Yes.
it's Winter Resort. Couldn't work out how to navigate this one, to be honest, but I thought it was pretty cool. It felt like a winter resort, similar to the what was the one last week with the water park rides and that Typhoon Lagoon. I felt kind of like that, so I thought it was pretty good. But moving along, then I think I played. I want to say Dizzy on Ice was the next one I played, which was kind of a little disappointing because I wanted to be like Dizzy on Ice because I'm a huge Dizzy on Ice fan. Is any of you guys Dizzy on Ice fan? Have you ever seen Dizzy on Ice?
I've seen lots of commercials. I've personally never seen it, but
16 years I've been in a row to Disney on Ice. So I'm like a big Disney on Ice fan, and I'm like,
As a
awesome.
performer? As a performer?
No.
Oh,
I'll be honest.
There.
I'm a spectator of the sport. So I was a bit disappointed when I didn't see an arena with Mickey on the ice, but that's all right. So much of a fan, I can't remember what that toy box was about. Did anyone else see that one? Disney on Ice. Oh, that had like an arena. It had like an arena thing. Yeah, it was. It was a great title. I mean,
Pirate, did you just say it just had a great title?
In addition to the toy box, it had a great title. It drew you in. You wanted to hear. You wanted to see more.
Okay,
Gotcha.
I think I played after that. Soshi Slaloms, I think, from Papa Echo, the man himself. And
Pop was in the chat room with us here.
Just blown away. The moment I saw the what did I call them? The chairlifts. That was just amazing. He's got such an eye for detail. It was kind of hard. I couldn't do the hard. He had 3 different difficulty, whatever you call downhill skiing, snowboarding. You're gonna have to help me, winter people.
Yeah, I could not do the gold one. I couldn't even get through the first pole in that one. He kept laughing at me when we were playing on it.
Yeah, me too. But the other 2 were awesome, particularly the one that had the snowball careering down the mountain. I thought that was a nice little touch. But the chairlifts, that's what did it for me. That's the Papa Echo signature touch. And the Russian flags at the back of the mission. I should skip forward to it, see if I can get to it while we're talking about it. But
that's really cool, when we've seen enough of these toy boxes from familiar people, not familiar faces because we don't know the faces, but you can just see aspects of the toy box and kind of recognize them without even reading the names of what they,
I said in my review,
it's
it's just time that they give him his own slot, the Papa Echo slot, top 5 and Papa Echo. That's what needs to happen.
This was his 6th featured box, so right now he's in the lead as featured toy box artist, with Lauren and Father and Crazy by Nick also being part of the 5 featured club.
Crazy.
But Papa has 6, is what you're saying?
Yeah. I think they should all get little jackets, like the 5 jacket club. Kind of like the Saturday Night Live episode, the 5 people the 5 times they've hosted Saturday Night Live. But
nice.
yeah, that's pretty impressive. They're doing a great job and consistently doing a great job.
We could commission like a Disney Infinity Letterman jacket by one of the builders in pixel form and blocks.
Totally.
So Extreme Racing, we've got a story from Extreme Racing. My personal opinion on Extreme Racing was it actually felt like I likened it to a good winter Mario Kart type level. It felt like it was a good racetrack. Just don't know how much it fit in the Winter Games picture, but it felt like a pretty cool winter racetrack. That's all I have to say about that. But I believe Pirate's got some intel for us on that particular track.
Yeah, Extreme Racing was done by It's Time Chicken. It was his first time being featured, and he's really tried to get into the featured slot since one of the earlier challenges. And he said usually it takes him about 20 hours to come up with a great idea and to implement it and make it the perfect toy box. But this one he kind of got lazy, and 2 hours before the entry was due, he threw something together and total build time 1 hour. So I don't know. He's trying to judge what he should do now, not the 20-hour box or the 1 hour. The 1 hour one got featured, so it's just kind of funny how I know it's gonna make people mad that spent 30 hours on it, but yeah, he did with his 1 hour featured toy box.
Yeah, Pirate sent me the story, and I just thought it was awesome. But I was like, man, I don't know if we should run this story because for all those that spent 30 hours and didn't make it, but it's okay because he has put his time in many other challenges without being featured. So I think there's probably an equilibrium there. It's just all about balance. He just going over what Pirate sent me. He said he didn't test it once, which was interesting. He said throughout the whole building process, he would get lazy and just begin putting down trees. He said the city part was supposed to be a giant stunt area, but he got lazy and just put down a city. Basically, everything was lazy. I love it. I love the candidness and how honest he is. He said, the point is, after losing so many times, I was practically going to give up. But here comes Wednesday. I checked the winners list, and boom, my toy box is on there. He said he was pretty stunned. He had company over when he found out, and he just died. Literally, he was on the floor laughing because of excitement and just thinking it was funny. So he said he won on a 1 hour submitted toy box, and he said other challenges he had spent 30 hours on. He said, but hey, he thought it was a good story and he thought it would share. So thank you for that. It's Me Chicken. That's an awesome story. And it just goes to show you it's never too late. Pirate was talking about how he felt like he didn't have enough time during the last challenge. He only had a couple days to complete the last challenge, and he won that, or he won a spot in the top 5 of that challenge. And so yeah, it looks like it can be anywhere from hours upon hours to small amounts of hours. So yeah, cool.
I just realized my feed looks like I'm podcasting with my twin brother.
That's what the chat is saying. They're saying double Jason, double Aussie, double awesome.
I need to put the devil horns on one and get the halo cracking on the other one for one of the shows coming up.
Especially with your Donald hat.
Oh yeah, love my Donald hat. That's my first Disney hat I ever bought. True story. I buy one every trip. Every time I go to Disney Park, I buy a brand new hat. It's my official theme park hat, I call it, and that was the first one I ever bought.
Nice.
So, I think, yeah, so the last one, oh no, there's 2 more. Disney Games, can't remember, and Winter Resort. I think, was it, one of them had a decent, I couldn't find the entrance, but it had a cool, like, little ladder staircase thing that you climbed up, and then there was an epic downhill between the flags. Seemed to be a bit of a theme for this week. A lot of people had the surf between the flags, which I'm cool with because I kind of like the idea of snowboarding. Never snowboarded for real, but man, I used to rip it up in the old NES title. I can't remember what it was. Snowboard Kids, I think. Gosh, that was good stuff. So that kind of half brought me back.
It's like surfing. You just have to throw a little snow in there and fewer waves.
Yeah, I'm one of those Australians that don't surf, never will.
Disappointing at every turn.
You might be scared of spiders, but I'm scared of sharks.
Great white shark. Bruce the shark.
Oh, that's funny. You even warned me about sharks in an offline conversation. I didn't pick up that you weren't a fan. I guess, is anyone really a fan of sharks when they're swimming? I mean, we can all like sharks when it's Shark Week, but not when we're swimming, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So no, I have nothing else to share about the winter games other than it was good. A good set of toy boxes. If winter's your thing, good stuff.
Awesome, and it's timely. I mean, with the winter.
Yeah, definitely.
Olympics.
I don't understand this sport. The one that's on the screen at the moment, the one where you got to ski and then shoot something, and then ski again. Like, I don't get that.
I think it's a Disney Infinity Olympic sport. I don't think such a sport exists.
Like, is that founded? I can imagine if you're in Colorado or somewhere cross skiing and you come across a bear, you shoot it. Like, is that what that sport was founded on? Like, we're trying to cross country here and we're going to come across some deadly bears, so we'll shoot them. Let's make a sport out of that.
I don't know what's funnier, you making fun of Colorado or you using Disney Infinity as a means of understanding the Winter Olympics.
I think that's what's happening here. That's what's happening. I'm looking at these sports going, what do all these do?
And why do I have bears and Canada doesn't? I mean, they're further north than I am.
I got no idea. Let's move on with the show. Let's get on to our feature for the show.
All right. Do you guys
away.
have anything else you want to mention about the weekly challenge for this week? All right. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Next week's, as in submitted for approval last week. This coming week's is the Valentine's Day challenge. Makes sense. Valentine's Day is coming up. I'm a little scared to see what happens in that. I wonder if we're going to see any more proposal toy boxes like the one, although I think that was just a wedding or proposal congratulation. Submitted this week, yes, you must submit for the Ultimate Challenge on Wednesday, the 13th of February. And Pirate, you have some cool news about this one, a little bit of insider info that hopefully will be a featured toy box next week.
Yeah, this is actually timed exclusive breaking news that I have. Papa Echo, I've created 6 featured toy boxes. He's trying to extend his winning streak, and I think he's got a really good idea for this Ultimate Challenge. He submitted a toy box where it's based on top of the helicarrier from Marvel Avengers and Nick Fury's helicarrier, and it is pretty neat. It looks identical to the helicarrier. It's got the shield logo on the top, and it has all the engines and the fans going, and it is pretty sweet. It's a really cool board to play on, and really hope it gets picked so we can get some Marvel Infinity action going on before Infinity 2 gets released.
That's awesome. I love the fact that I wonder how many Marvel or Star Wars themed boxes that we've had. I mean, up to this point, we've had some pretty specific toy box challenges that are framed around a lot of Disney properties or holidays and stuff like that, so that may not be too conducive to those types of toy boxes. But this is awesome. I can't wait to see this, and even if it is not featured, I'm sure you can find it on the Disney Infinity Fans forum. You can find some info about that. So I can't wait to see it. That's exciting. I wonder what else would be Ultimate Challenge. What does that entail anyway? I don't know. Anyway, we want to give you a heads up on a few other toy boxes that are coming down the pike. After the Ultimate Challenge, we have the Aladdin Challenge, and I must admit, don't expect big things, but Pirate, he persuaded me to take a stab at this challenge, and so I'm seeing if I can build an Aladdin toy box to submit on my iPad. Since Papa Echo can do it on his iPad, I was like, yeah, why not? I didn't even think about that. So
yeah, I started some iPad work recently, and it is very convenient. I don't have to fight for the TV, or I can pretty much go anywhere on the iPad and do my building and then touch things up on my PlayStation. So it's a cool tool to use, and it's free. You can download it for free. So I think it's a great benefit from Disney Infinity. I like to let you know you're going against Lauren, who's throwing her hat back in the game, and she's submitted one for the Aladdin Challenge. So
I might drop my iPad now and break it, so I can't submit.
Don't be scared. Don't be scared.
Pirate, what do you think overall? Do you think, because I feel like some ways the iPad app is a lot easier to do certain things, and then I feel like there's other ways that it's not quite as easy to
It's hard to navigate on, and I can't really get the controls right. My player's so slow when I run around with them. But I feel like the spark mode and being able to see what blocks you put in and just doing it all aerial, it's a lot easier to use. I was building a racetrack, and it was just so much easier and less time consuming doing it on the iPad than when I was doing it on the PlayStation.
Well, one thing I'm a little bit concerned with is now, unfortunately, since it's my only means of creating toy boxes, what I can do on the on the iPad is what I can do. It sounds like both you and Papa Echo use it as a additional device to build certain things on, and then refine maybe certain aspects of it on the on a console. So we'll see about that. One thing I've noticed with the iPads, and this is actually from playing Toy Box Challenge winners, is that it's a lot harder to get a good feel of the environments because the textures are so much more low res, and the lighting especially isn't nearly as vibrant and detailed. And so I'm building this toy box now, and I'm like, I think I'm picking the texture that makes the most sense in this scenario, but I can't really see how it will look on a console. So, yeah. Lauren is giving me encouragement in the chat room. She says I can do it. So thank you for that, Lauren.
Yeah, I'd recommend doing when you're doing different textures. Always do saves and back your stuff up just in case something doesn't turn out like you wanted to. So you can always go back.
Yeah. Cool. So after the Aladdin challenge, we have the underwater challenge, and after underwater, we have the arcade challenge. That challenge is exciting. Lloyd, what do you think of arcade? I know you're an old school arcade guy. Do you think this is going to be a pretty neat one?
Yeah, it's. I'm very excited to play all of the toy boxes that are made. I do not even know where to begin coming up with my own. I'm so uncreative when it comes to this game, which is my kids are way more creative than I am. But
do a pirate did. I think he lied to us. I think he handed his controller to his kids for a week and say, "All right, kids, build something like this," and I think they built it for him.
Nice.
Just
on the iPad, yeah.
Yeah, on the iPad. Yeah, I wonder how. I mean, I'm sure we're gonna see a lot of Wreck-It Ralph themed toy boxes.
Tron.
But what's that? Tron?
Tron as well, probably.
Yes, Tron. We haven't had a Tron specific challenge yet. I mean, we've seen some Tron toy boxes, but
no. Somebody requested a Tron challenge in the comments of the YouTube for the first Toy Box TV, and Disney Infinity said thanks for the suggestion. We loved it. So
they didn't say the possibilities are endless.
No,
Or
didn't even give them the line. They just told him that was a good idea. So who
So now
knows?
if we see that in the future, we know it was a fan out there who contributed that.
Yeah, I'm expecting some kind of Disney Infinity Pac-Man and Super Mario Brothers and Donkey Kong and things like that. So
I want to see some Space Invaders action on there. I wonder if that would be something that it could be. I'm sure.
Pac-Man would be a pretty easy one to do.
yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Do the camera. Oh,
Do a
you think it's
top-down
easy?
camera.
Yeah, Jason. I think you just challenged yourself.
The guy that did the GTA top-down 2D GTA one should just resubmit it, and they'd probably win.
There you go.
True.
Remember that one? That was a pretty cool box.
That was awesome. Awesome. So that's your upcoming challenges. It looks like quite a few people in the chat room are trying for a few of those. So, yeah, that's exciting. We'll see what happens. I like that they're giving us more of a warning now of the toy boxes way before ahead of time, because it gives people more time to actually work on them, and they can actually pick and choose a little bit more on challenges that may suit their fancy a little bit more. So.
Yeah, I like the extra time. I'm actually going to probably do the underwater challenge, but I'm also in that mode where I have 3 weeks, and I'm probably going to wait to the last week or the last minute to complete it, even though I have all this extra time.
It worked out well for you last time.
Yeah.
Don't fix it if it ain't broken.
Yeah, just give me a couple days. It'll be fine. It's fine.
Cool. Well, that's the challenge, the Toy Box challenges for this week, and the soon-to-be Toy Box challengers. Now let's move on to the mailbag. So last week we talked about X Shadow and one of his toy boxes, and so Pirate, if you haven't, Pirate mentioned this last week, but if you haven't had a chance to take a look at these, the Disney Infinity fans forums are running toy box artist interviews that are extremely thorough. They're awesome reads. It's really cool to learn about their inspiration, learn about their process, kind of their history of the toy boxes, and then some funny stories here and there. And honestly, Pirate, I was real surprised how detailed these interviews were. I mean, there's a lot of questions in there that I'd never think to ask, and it was made for an awesome read. So this last week was X Shadows, and he actually gave the show a little shout out, and so I wanted to make sure we mentioned this, and we will post the link of this interview and the forum that you can find the other interviews in the chat room and in the show notes. But in the last interview, it's talking about challenges. Actually, I was talking about the challenges and thought about what challenges he'd like to create but never got around to building. He said he watched a recent show of ours, episode number 27, where we were talking about the limitations that we wished were not an issue in the toy box. He said he likes having a functional track rail system to produce a carnival train ride or roller coaster. He said he planned on taking a break from the challenges and Disney Infinity since he's been neglecting his other games. I'm sure we can all appreciate that. He said, but the toy box is just too addicting or addictive, and I would say that's true. I mean, Pirate, you got the itch after winning once, didn't you?
Yeah. Now I feel like I have to do it again. Gotta do it again.
So he said that the podcast sparked his inspiration to finally work on building the carnival since he's become a lot more familiar with the tools in the toy box. It seems like that's kind of the running theme with the toy boxes. A lot of times the difficult part is just understanding the tools, and it sometimes takes a little bit of time to fully understand the capabilities of those tools. But not only that, also understanding how you can implement those in a creative way in the toy box. And so X Shadow is the one, Jason, who did the Frozen challenge, which took us through the different scenes. Just a heads up on that. And so that is what kind of sparked his interest to do that toy box, was just listening to the show and kind of working on an idea that he had thought about previously. And he just decided to do it, and which was awesome. One great thing about these toy boxes is that a lot of times they include information on previous toy boxes that they had submitted and didn't win. In this particular interview with X Shadow, he had an awesome toy box, which was called Beyond Infinity, and he said it was a platform game using Buzz Lightyear flying through space to collect 10 hidden stars. And it's all around a giant bitmap version of himself. And if you go check this out, the bitmap is just crazy cool. It looks so awesome. So I always love seeing, because it's got to be a hard job figuring out who should win these challenges. And I love seeing some that didn't win, because more times than not, I would be hard-pressed to choose the winners over some that didn't win. And so it's really cool seeing some of these that we may otherwise never see. I know, Pirate, you're a huge fan of jumping in people's toy boxes and taking a look at them beforehand, and then even after the fact. So
Yeah, you see some great ones out there, and you wish at least, if you can't be a featured box, at least you can see videos like this to be able to see what the person was able to come up with for the idea.
that is going to be a perfect segue into our next topic of conversation. So we started last week a new series we're doing on the show, and it's a Disney Infinity 2 discussion. These discussions will include a little bit of speculation, but not only speculation, also some some good guesses based on information we have either heard via rumor or set in stone info. If you would like to contribute to this conversation, please send your thoughts and ideas to info@Inside Disney Infinity. We'd love to highlight some of your ideas. And this week's topic is going to be on the topic of co-op and collaboration. And Pirate, the reason this was a good segue is because one thing I'm really excited that both next-gen systems have is the ability to record gameplay. So now the only way to really show off gameplay on a console is to buy a capture device that is quite a bit extra money, and you have to have a computer set up for the most part to do that, to either stream that info live or save it after the fact. And I think the ability baked into both the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One to record and live stream, I think is going to be really great for the Disney Infinity community, because it's going to be a great way for people to show off toy boxes, but not only show off toy boxes, easy way to teach people and give tips and tricks on that as well. Jason, do you use your live streaming feature on your PlayStation 4 very much?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. What about you, Pirate?
I haven't used it yet, but it's just one click of a button, and you can save whatever you're playing, which is really cool. My kid was playing with the Playroom feature on the PlayStation 4. Pretty much just a bunch of augmented reality robots appear, and they all over the floor, and you kick them, play with them. And he must have accidentally clicked the share button and recorded the whole thing, and I got to watch that back later, and I was like, dang, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
This will work perfectly for Disney Infinity. Anybody that, because I know a lot of people that put a lot of time, like I play 30 hours in this toy box, and no one ever gets to see it. Well, if you don't get featured, this is a great way to be able to share it with the community. Maybe you could have your own website with your top 20 boxes you've created, and you can just show all the videos there, or even your own YouTube channel with all your cool Disney Infinity toy boxes. I think that'd be pretty sweet.
Now, Lloyd, I know you just got your PlayStation 4, but if I'm not mistaken, you played around a little bit with the live streaming tonight.
Yeah.
Did you buy a PlayStation Eye, or does anyone actually have a PlayStation camera, I guess?
Yeah, I have one hooked up to mine.
So the reason I bring this up, Pirate, is so the Xbox One right now does not have the ability to stream live. It's coming in a future update. But what we do have the ability to do is capture video, and you can edit the video and then upload it. But one really cool feature with that, and one that I think would work really great with Disney Infinity 2, is you can record voiceover and picture-in-picture just using your Kinect camera, and I think that provides quite a bit of value. Anyone who watches the show knows how Jason does that while he's reviewing the toy boxes each week. Does the PlayStation camera have that, or the PlayStation 4 have that same function?
Yeah.
Does anyone know?
Yeah, it has. If you hook up the camera and you go into the share mode, it actually basically takes the whole screen and shrinks it into a corner. Then you have a bar that has your image, the number of people that are watching, whether the microphone's turned on, and then there's a bar on the bottom that has all the chat room stuff right on Twitch. So it's really well done. I'm going to be getting a PlayStation Eye camera. They are actually out of stock, which was kind of ironic because I've seen like piles of eyes every single time I've looked for a PS4, and the one time that I go to buy a PS4, they're out of PlayStation Eyes. I don't under Canada. But anyway, I'll be picking one up probably this weekend or.
Yeah, it was like that in America too. For around Christmas time, they went out of stock everywhere for about 2 or 3 weeks, until right before Christmas Eve. They got them back in stock.
So that's really surprising for me, because this is kind of off the topic, but one of the complaints with the Xbox One is that they force you to have a camera in the form of Kinect, which increases the price by $100 over the PlayStation 4. It's interesting to hear that a lot of PlayStation 4 users have bought a camera. Jason, you haven't gotten a camera, have you?
No, I just use my own camera for the streaming stuff.
You fancy.
Because you can't do the green screen with the PlayStation 4.
That's true, but I'm in Lloyd's camp. The ease of use is what
Oh,
has me
and it
so excited
is
about this.
amazing having the Twitch chat in the bottom of the streaming. I mean, I do sometimes I'm lazy and I just hit the share button. I stream just through the PS4. Particularly if I'm like, if it's a game that I'm just streaming for the heck of streaming. Like, why not stream? If you've got the capabilities and you don't mind people watching, why not hit the stream button?
Mm.
Particularly if it's not an online game, it's not going to affect your multiplayer sessions or whatever. You may as well stream it.
Yeah. My favorite, or I guess going to be my favorite feature in Disney Infinity 2 when it comes to the PlayStation 4 is the ability to do this. Like I'm playing Assassin's Creed 4 on my Vita, remote streaming it from my PlayStation 4, so I could be in a different room, I could be in a different house, and I could still play Disney Infinity, provided I preload my my playmat with the figures that I want to play with. So I could be at work and creating a level and saving it on my lunch break or whatever. It's amazing how well this actually works if you already have a PlayStation Vita. And just the thought of doing that with Disney Infinity or other games that I would be basically spending time playing with my kids, I could kind of pre-do some levels, create a new level, and then come home and play with them and explore the new environment that I managed to mess around with while everybody was in school.
You still have to do work when you're at work, though. You realise?
Yeah, but I get a lunch. I get a lunch break. It gives me
Ah.
2 minutes. I get a nice Vegemite sandwich and then take a bite and go blah. So my lunch doesn't take much at all, actually.
Yeah.
So you have plenty of time for gaming. That's an excellent strategy. Just eat Vegemite to completely lose all your appetite.
Perfect diet food because I won't eat it at all. So it's great.
Now I wonder. So the remote play is intended to replicate the functions of the PlayStation 4 controller, but the back of the Vita has touch control, and that takes the place of the shoulder buttons, correct?
Yeah, like the Vita has 2 shoulder buttons, and then basically depending on where you touch on the back, it emulates 2 other shoulder buttons. So it's kind of sloppy, but if the developers are smart, the way that they design the inputs, they can make it so it's not so bad playing on the Vita.
Well, and that's exactly what I'm getting at. So the screen itself is also touch screen. So I wonder if they will add the function when remote play to have it kind of like the iPad or the Windows 8 app.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
because the PS4 controller has a little touch pad on it, so they can maybe incorporate some of that as well, and then you can do that with the Vita at the same time.
Yeah. Cool. So, Pirate, you brought up this next piece. So that is discussing how you can, provide tips and tricks. Now let's talk a little bit about Toybox collaborating, and I think you kind of got this because with your experience on collaborating on Toybox, you use text messaging, and I can imagine how tedious of a task that would be.
Yeah. So me and Patrick, Papa Echo, have tried a couple things. So we. On Phantasmic, when we collaborated, we did it strictly through text messages. We'd be like, okay, I'm over here, do this. This is how we're going to complete the task and build it. And then today, we're talking about which boxes we're building for the next 4 challenges. And we did a FaceTime session where, as we're going through the track, I'm explaining what we're going to do here, what we're going to do. It's going to be cool. And that seemed to work as well. But with the PlayStation 4, you should be able to integrate that FaceTime experience by like you said, streaming it so the other person and you could talk about what you're going to do to the toy box.
I think having that, well, definitely the two-way conversation and communication would be very, very helpful. But I just think there's something that's so much more organic. I mean, that's the reason we do these shows live every week and broadcast the video, because there's something to seeing people's face and connecting to them on that level, and using the chat cameras for both of these systems would just be a great feature in the second one. And the great part about that is both the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, they have their own cameras that could be a feature for them as well, assuming the resources are available for that. So I think with the PlayStation 3, the issue kind of is the integration of party chat. It's not quite as good as it is on the 360, right? I mean, it's plug and play, for lack of a better term,
It's
on the
non-existent.
360.
You can't do party chat on the PS3.
Really?
You can have a chat, but you can't be playing different. You can't be playing games at the same time as you're chatting.
Okay.
So you can have a multiple chat in a room, but yeah, you can't be playing games like you can on the PS4 now. Like you can, thank goodness. But yeah, so in fact, I love it. I've obviously never experienced party chat, and now that I have, it's so cool to be able to chat with your buddies online while you're both playing completely different games.
That's awesome. It's funny though, because yeah, that's something that's been around for 360 for quite some time.
And even if you're not building a toy box, just be able to play somebody and see their facial reactions and talk to them like they were in the room while you're playing them is just a really cool feature. I talk about the example of playing Madden with somebody. Remember, I thought that was the coolest feature in PlayStation 3, and I'm playing some random stranger and they're talking smack to me, and I'm running the kickoff back for a touchdown, and you just hear silence or you oh man, and then click, they shut the game off before it records the loss. But being able to play somebody in Madden on PlayStation 4 and be able to see their facial reactions and talk to them while you're playing is a really cool feature. And Disney Infinity could be the same way when you're playing your Smash Brothers style gaming against somebody, shooting with a paintball gun and being able to look them in the eye and go, "I did that to you. Did you see that? I just shrunk you and drop kicked you off the board. How cool is that?"
I keep seeing a trend here, Pirate. I'm surprised you want to build toy boxes with everyone. You're so adversarial.
You got to get a little dig in there.
But I mean, the building aspect it's all about collaboration, and so yeah, I mean, I definitely see when you're having your Smash Brothers brawl how that would be awesome. You could see the looks on their faces.
It's so much more fun to build the toy boxes when you're not and not just like being in the same room or same toy box, working together to build the toy box, but if it's inviting somebody into your toy box to do testing for you, or even just throwing ideas back and forth of what you think you're going to do, I think it's a great Disney Infinity fans community to be able to do something like that.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that is exciting, and I'm sure some of those features by default will be in because, again, they're kind of universal system-wide features. The chat definitely. You don't see, although on the 360 it's been available on some games in the past, you don't see video chat very often when you're doing this. But with the 360, you have Skype, and so you could always snap a Skype video call and do it that way if the game itself doesn't have the feature included. So cool. When you share on the PlayStation 4, how's that displayed? Is it? I know you have the Twitch live streaming, but can you send stuff to YouTube, or does it go into the PlayStation? Kind of has its own built-in social network in a way, right, of your friends?
Yeah, it's got you got your PSN homepage where you can see people's videos if they're your friends. It automatically broadcasts to Twitch but doesn't record that stream. I believe it's still the same. You can't actually set Twitch to record that, which is another reason why I don't use the built-in app, because if you're just using a normal streaming system, you can set Twitch to record and archive your footage for a certain amount of time after you finish playing. But once you kill it on the PS4, it's gone forever, so to speak. And it does Ustream as well, I believe. Is it Ustream or Justin TV or something?
It does.
Both. It's one and the same now.
Right. Well, there you go. So I've never used that before in my life. So yeah, but no, unfortunately, you can't go to YouTube. The only way you could do it is by, I believe some people said you can, because it does post to Facebook. I believe you can download it off Facebook and then post it onto YouTube. That's a way to get around it.
And you can set your Twitch profile settings to automatically push broadcasts to YouTube as well.
Will it do that, though, even though it's not recording?
I believe so. I'd have to do some testing, but I think any video that gets pushed up to Twitch then gets forwarded over to YouTube. It might be set to private if you do it that way, maybe. I'll have to do some checking on that.
Yeah.
Well, the important part about this conversation when we're discussing next-gen systems is that it's both systems are iterative and they are going to constantly be evolving, and the systems we have today will definitely not be the systems we have at the launch of Disney Infinity. So maybe some of these questions will be ironed out by then. I want to say hello to it's Time Chicken. I always read that It's Me Chicken. He just joined the chat room and we talked about his stuff earlier, so just wanted to say hello. Cool. Well, the other piece of collaborating and more accurate co-oping and cooperative play is the discussion of cooperative play in Disney Infinity 2. So Disney Infinity has cooperative play, but that cooperative play is only in the toy box. Something that I was very, very disappointed in, and I know a lot of fans out there were very disappointed in the fact that you could not play playsets cooperatively. Jason, I know this was a huge disappointment for you, and it just kind of seemed like an oversight. And I don't know the reason why it wasn't included. It's odd to me that the toy box has it, but the playset does not. And
well, technically it was there, but it just wasn't online. That was the issue, right? You could have two.
Yes.
You can have two players co-op in a on an offline situation, but yeah, not an online co-op. Which I think that's somewhat disappointing, particularly because of the nature of the virtually. I think all the playsets were pretty much open world type titles that. Why wouldn't you just put 4 people in there and they could all go off and do individual challenges or whatever? I can't remember what they were called, but like going to do the different side missions and stuff, and it wouldn't even have to necessarily give credit. Like if Lloyd came into mine and did a challenge that I hadn't done, well, it just doesn't need to give me credit for finishing that one, so I can still come back and do that one myself. But it would have been nice to just have. It would have been awesome for our charity event for the Child's Play thing for all of us to just be able to go 4-player co-op in all the play sets.
I mean, we could have shown Steve C in real time how it doesn't take 24 hours to beat a play set.
I said
I love that about Borderlands too. If anyone's played that before, I love the fact that people can just completely part ways. But it was awesome if you got into a game with 3 advanced people, they would literally just, particularly if they were on like their prestige run or whatever, they would just go out and finish half the game for you. You just sat back and watched the missions check off as complete. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Lloyd, you were going to say something?
I was going to say you got to watch your 24-hour playset digs. I said that last episode, and Steve C proceeded to chirp me on Twitter the next day. So be careful. The omnipresent existence of Steve C watching for mention on podcasts. I'm going to have to start dropping his name randomly on my different shows and see if he starts chirping me there as well.
Sea Pirate, you weren't the only one that Steve C was harassing about last week's show.
At the 45-minute mark, I heard a sigh. Like, what?
And then you had to proceed to explain in detail what that sigh actually meant.
Oh, I loved it. That was fun.
Travis in the chat room is asking, wouldn't it be hard to make sure both players have the correct characters? I don't think so. I don't see why it would be hard. It would just be, there's an authentication that occurs when you put down a character locally, and it has a requirement that it has to be a character from that property or that playset, and it would just happen the same way, just not a local thing. It would be a over the interwebs thing. So,
does anyone know if you can put down 2 of the same character?
Yes.
And what happens in that situation? Does it have a variant color of the character, or is it just how do you determine the difference between the 2?
Actually, I'm speaking out of turn. I've actually never seen it. I assume you can.
Strange.
Chat room, do you know? We'll see. There's a little bit of a delay.
We've done multiple Lightning McQueens, one crystal and one regular. I don't know if you could put down 2 regulars though.
Yeah, that's the question. That's interesting.
Yeah, that is. I almost asked why would you have 2, but I guess if maybe you had siblings, you would want 2 different characters.
Yeah, I could totally see that. If one of my daughters is fighting constantly over a particular figure, well, the easy way to fix that is buy everyone the same figure.
Yep, including one for yourself.
Mint in package.
So, Jason, you touched on a great point, is that the play sets were built around the idea of co-op. The gameplay has that in mind. So I'm thinking there just must have been a time limit thing there, and they had the option to maybe implement online co-op. Lloyd, I see you shaking your head yes there.
Yeah, that's it. To me, that's got to be it. You know, that had to be a feature in there. They want people to play together. Online co-op just seems like a no-brainer. But yeah, by the looks of everything with Disney Infinity, they were making a game that they had lofty goals, but they were worried that maybe it wouldn't get as popular as they hoped. So they were cutting back on a lot of the kind of lofty dreams that they had for the game.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's, I mean, it's a constant balancing act of what can you implement and when. Early on, when this kind of came to light about Disney Infinity 1, they were being kind of very cagey about it, and I even remember seeing posts or comments alluding to the fact that it may happen in an update. Honestly, I at this point find that hard to believe, because they should be very well into the development of Inside Infinity 2, the next gen version of this show. No, Disney Infinity 2. I don't think we'll see that ever coming in Disney Infinity 1. But as long as it comes in 2, I would be really surprised if it doesn't happen. I mean, this is going to be the next version of hopefully a much more full-featured version of this game we love, and that was such a big feature that was not included that lots of people were really looking forward to. I think it would be odd if they didn't include it this time. Cool. Well, that's it for the co-op conversation, guys. Is there anything else that we didn't talk about that kind of involves this that you want to bring up before we close things out? Jason, that was a great question. People in the chat room don't seem to know either. They all think the answer to that question is yes, but no one's had a reason to actually try putting the same figure down on the base.
Lauren said that she's actually played with 2 Rapunzels, and they just have a number 2 above the second Rapunzel.
Okay. Okay, so that makes sense. So it looks like, yeah, you can have multiple figures, and it looks like it numbers them accordingly. Just like,
that's something they'd have to change. If they go online multiplayer, they'd have to change that, and that's a perfect opportunity to bring variant costumes in on the figures. But that's a discussion for another episode.
Why would they have to change that, though?
I don't know, just that's standard. Like, you play any normal fighter, you play with 2 Ryus or whatever in Street Fighter. One has 2 different color gears. It just makes it easier for the gamer to realize that if everyone's playing Rapunzel, that there's different color and you're the black one, not the white one or whatever.
No, I totally agree with that. I guess my concern there is I wouldn't want the playsets limited if they don't have that feature in there. Say that both show up as is. I guess I'd rather not have people be forced to buy a second figure. But I do that's a great idea on different costumes as a way of getting variants. Actually, that's a great topic, I think, to put on the list for a future show. Having
Will do.
figure.
I miscredited that. That was Travis, not Lauren, that played with 2 Rapunzels. Sorry about that, Travis.
Isn't Lauren a huge Rapunzel fan too?
It's true.
The plot thickens. Well, great. Well, that was a great conversation, Pirate, and it was very applicable to your experience with the toy boxes and our continued toy box conversations. So I think we actually figured out our topic for next week, and that is going to be, how is Disney Infinity 2 going to utilize both forward and backwards compatibility of figures. So is this going to be just kind of a rehash where you put your Rapunzel on there from Disney Infinity 1 and she's going to act the same way, just maybe in higher fidelity for the next version? Or is it going to be more than that? And remember, figures are going to be both forward and backwards compatible. So when we get to Disney Infinity 2 and more figures are going to be released, how are they going to be used in Disney Infinity 1? And you have to remember the limitations that could possibly provide. So that's the topic for next week. If you are interested in joining in that conversation, make sure you send your thoughts to info@InsideDisneyInfinity.com, and we'll be sure to highlight it on the show. Awesome, guys. Well, I think that's going to be it. We are sitting, I don't know what we're sitting at. We're sitting at a little over an hour, and I feel like we just need to keep going because that's been the trend lately. People are talking about Pirate's awesome face. It seems to be a pastime of Travis now to screen cap faces as we have funny faces in the chat room or in the hangout. So, Pirate, you're still muted, but I'm sending it your way first. You're saying stuff.
I know. I was pretending I was talking. But I said it was funny that you picked the funniest pictures to put for the YouTube channel, where it's like me sticking my tongue out, looking to the side, something ridiculous.
Here's the funny part. YouTube does that automatically, and I can actually change that, but if the photos or if the screen caps are just too epic, I just leave it. So. Cool. Well, guys, I think that's going to about wrap it up. Did you have a good time in this episode of Inside Infinity?
Always.
Mm-hmm. Always.
Great time.
Always. Lloyd, I got to thank you again, my friend, for joining us, taking time away from your brand new PlayStation 4.
It was a sacrifice, let me tell you.
Yeah, it was.
To the greater good.
Because let's be honest, you're doing research not only for your other podcast, but for this show and what Disney Infinity 2 on Next Gen might look like.
Yep,
but
right.
More importantly, I think you're doing it just because you're a gamer, which works great because you are the person in charge of the video game podcasting network, VGPodcast.com. You have a few shows on there, including ours and one that you and I do together, right?
Yeah, that's right. So Inside Infinity is a member of the network. So if you want to look for other gaming shows, all about video games, you might want to check out VGPodcast.com. We do Nintendo Pulse about Nintendo, Touch of Gaming about iOS games, and we have a new show called Derezed that Will and I actually host together. We do it live, just like Inside Disney Infinity. So every Friday night at 10 p.m. Central, you can catch Will and myself sitting, talking about everything to do with gaming, whether it's modern consoles, retro stuff. We both have similar interests in the way that we love every single game that has ever been made. So it makes for some really good conversation.
Cool. Well, yes, definitely check that out. We also have a presence, not only like you said on the network, but Lloyd has a forum set up. There's lots of forums out there for Disney Infinity, but he has one for all of his shows, and we have a forum on there with topics of show feedback and then just connecting with the show. So check out that. You can just click on the forum tab to find that. Pirate. Buddy, Jake. I should start calling you Jake as a. Are you eating something right now? Oh.
No, I was texting.
Speaking of texting, I guess you taught Papa Echo how to do emojis today.
Oh yeah, we were passing emojis back and forth. It's kind of funny.
That's awesome. Well, cool, my friend. Did you enjoy tonight's show? As always, you are a great representative of the Disney Infinity Fans Forum, bringing us lots of community stuff. It's great seeing all of the members from the forum chatting with us, and lots of toy box artists, which is just phenomenal, and we appreciate that. But did you have a good time tonight?
Always have a great time. Thanks. Thank you for the invite.
Absolutely. Before I let everyone go, sorry, this just came up, but We're talking about starter sets and for the PC only. So next gen, do we think we may see an actual full game for PC, or do you think we're going to see another? No, Lloyd, you're saying no.
I don't think so. I see PC similar to iOS for this game, where it's just going to be a feature add, value add for people that buy the console version. It would be nice though. I mean, there's a lot of PC gamers that would love to get into this type of stuff.
Well, that's more than Skylanders has, right? Skylanders doesn't have any PC presence today.
They used to have a little kind of MMO similar thing where you would use little codes, punch it in online, and you'd have an online game where you basically take part in different adventures with a bunch of people. It was like Habbo Hotel or all those other kind of kid-friendly MMOs. It was very much like that. It was kind of horrible, so I didn't play it much, but I did check it out when Skylanders first came out.
Cool. Great question, chat room. I'm sorry I missed who said that. Papa Echo said his first emoji was a pair of pants, and he said, what application could that possibly be used for? I'm sure we could think of a lot.
Well, we do podcasts without pants, so that would be giving us our pants back. So that would be a good thing for it.
Look at you. You are good, my friend. That was quick. I'm impressed. Jason, my favorite Aussie.
Yes, mate.
Ooh, what was that? That was like getting all serious, and you just reminded me of that Super Bowl commercial of how all British, or how all villains in American movies are British. You're like going to be the villain for Disney Infinity, and that's because you're Aussie. It's your Aussie accent.
Oh, I got the haircut for it.
That was awesome.
He's the next Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
There you go.
Lex of the Infinity World. That's cool.
I don't know how you're going to do that, but that is going to be your assignment to dress up as Lex Luthor for our... Oh, no, that's a DC. That's not Marvel. Pirate, what are you doing?
There's got to be somebody.
Professor X.
There you go.
Oh. Cool. That show's coming, everyone. We promise it's going to happen, but when you least expect it. Cool. Well, I think that's going to wrap up the show for this week. Thank you so much for listening. If you are watching live or listening to this after the fact, you can listen and chat with us live every Monday, 8 p.m. Mountain Time at InsideDisneyInfinity.com. You can also subscribe from the site there, and you can check out all of our friends there on the sidebar. You can just click on their links. You can check out the Pixar post for Pixar news. Disney Infinity Fans Forum for great Disney Infinity Forum, Vinylmation Kingdom for lots of great Vinylmation news and Disney Infinity news, and then also I am missing one, and I'm going to be VG Podcast, but Lloyd, you already talked about that, so I don't need to. Again, you can contact us at info@Inside Disney Infinity or look for us on Twitter at InsideDinfinity. Please subscribe on iTunes if you have a moment, and if you don't want to go there, check us out at Stitcher Radio, which is an Android and iPhone app. I think they might even have a Windows app out there, and that's device agnostic, so you can listen to us. If you want to check out the original Disney Infinity TV, check out youtube.com/Disney Infinity TV. Not to say the Toy Box TV program is not amazing. Cool. Well, again, everyone, thank you so much in the chat room. This was a great conversation. Sorry for those that were looking forward to a 3-hour show this week. That's not happening. Papa said he was looking forward to another at least hour. But you know what? We can only do what we can do. I think it's already past Pirate's bedtime. I see him getting sleepy over there. So, cool. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And until next time, we hope your week is filled with infinite possibilities. I'm not quick enough to get my lower third out of there. Lloyd, you're making your Sorcerer Mickey, not Epic Mickey dance.
I was.
Cool. That was a good show.
Mm-hmm.
Good show.
To the point. Jason, you offended a few people by forgetting details of the toy box, but that's okay. Didn't you just review it today?
Yes, that's how bad it is. I literally just played it and it went straight through my head. I'm like, what did I just play?
Well, I understand that because like doing the show, half the time I don't remember what was said the first 10 minutes because, you're constantly kind of thinking ahead and you're actually on camera presenting those toy boxes. So we can
One
give
day I
you
will remember to take notes. I will remember to take notes. But all they have to do is go and watch the video.
It's true. That is why you do it. In fact, for those that are in the chat room, a little bit of future news. Here, relatively soon, we are going to stop highlighting the toy boxes unless there's something specific we want to say. We're just going to give our favorite of the week and any stories that we may have. But that way, hopefully, our content will be a little more filled out in other places. And again, we just don't want to make 2-hour shows, so that's going to force you to go check out Jason's reviews. Cool. Lloyd, I don't know why you're still here. I was expecting to see a thing of dust in your chair just like spinning in place.
This is just a video I recorded earlier. That's just me doing the same thing in loop.
We're officially on a first-name basis, Lloyd. You and me, PS4 buddies to the end.
Awesome.
Boo.
Yep. There it is.
Are you guys friends with Pirates, or are you excluding him?
Pirate.
I'm friends with Skeletor.
Yeah.
What about me? I don't think I'm your friend.
But the pirate doesn't own Pirate, and I think he should be banished for that.
Oh, come on. I'm playing too much Lego Marvel superheroes.
I've heard nothing but good things about Lego Super Mario, whatever it is.
Super Mario's, yeah.
Super Mario, Lego Marvel, that's the one.
It's a great game.
I was so bummed. I was texting Pirate today, and Toys R Us had it this past week for $30 on Next Gen, and they were all sold out. I went there Saturday.
Price match.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not even kidding because I've been having the conversation because I found a PS4 here as well, and I'd been having the conversation all weekend with my fiance about getting it, and I finally convinced her, but it was like that I'm frustrating talking about this kind of convincing, and I knew the right answer was not to.
Danger.
Exactly. But I know myself well enough. If I went to Best Buy to price match Lego Marvel, I would have walked out with the PlayStation 4. And so I'm like, I'll just wait for it to go on sale again. I kid you not. That's the only reason I didn't price match.
Hey, Pirate, what's your PSN ID? I'll add you.
Kenner Saint. KennerSaint.
Cool.
Ninjographer in the chat room is saying, Jason, you can scar up your face and be Deadpool without the mask. For the Marvel episode.
Everybody used to tell me I looked like the guy from The Matrix.
Who?
Lawrence
Lawrence
the villain
Fishburne.
in The Matrix. He's an Australian. What's his name?
Anderson.
Yeah, except he has
Yes,
hair.
and Lord of the Rings.
Oh no, he doesn't have hair, does he?
Sort of. Kind of like me.
Oh.
But I
Dude,
must
that
admit,
would
I used to get it a lot more when I had hair.
You're like I randomly that went downhill. I stopped getting that reference nearly as much.
I thought you were going to say Morpheus or Keanu Reeves or somebody
That was too.
from Bill and Ted's.
When's Bill and Ted's coming back? Come on.
Oh yeah, they need to complete the trilogy. Come on.
For sure.
So I know we're all kind of toy collectors. I don't know. I saved it, but did you guys see that toy line that is coming out with everything imaginable, including Back to the Future? Stand by, I'm looking this up. Actually, do you guys have a moment? If you don't, you can leave. But I know, Jason, I've been meaning to tell you this all week. They're doing, and I'm going to screen share.
Our
Okay,
Target just recently had a 1/18th scale Ecto-1 from Ghostbusters, which was pretty cool, die-cast. It was like $70. I thought I would have liked that.
Did you see the new? So look at the one on the right there. That was by
I
far
have
my
it here.
most exciting one. We have Snake and obviously Arnold there. So we have Universal Monsters, Modern Horror, The Crow,
Oh,
Terminator, Buffy, Goonies. How cool
Oh,
is
go
freaking
to
that?
Goonies.
It's like 70s action figures where they had all sorts of weird stuff all in one toy line.
Pulp Fiction, Predator, Firefly. That's really awesome. Nightmare Before Christmas. Of course, that's going to be epic.
I'm gonna have to get it.
Rocketeer and Back to the Future. And it's funny you say that, Lloyd. I mean, you can even look at them. They're not like the McFarlane toys detail. They are like like 80s.
Yeah,
figures.
they look totally like it's the same head with just well, let's put an eye patch on this guy. So they just kind of takes a little bit of spackle and they just put in a little eye patch on. But yeah, it reminds me of like the crappy 70s toys, which are awesome to look at now because they're just so poorly done, but so awesome. They're retroness.
Yeah, Travis. Hopefully you get back to your hotel room in time to talk to us about Phineas and Agent P. Travis is going to be at the Toy Fair next week, so that's a plan there.
Nice.
He's talking to the chat room. So those were, if I scrolled through that too quick, those were Reaction toy line.
Okay.
So cool. All right, gents. I think that's going to pretty much call it for tonight. I know Lloyd's anxious, and I actually have a few things to take care of tonight as well. So
Cool. Well, thanks for having me again on the show, Will.
yeah, of course. Hey, next time you actually Twitch, well, not every time, but I went on there to watch whatever you were doing, and so I could vicariously live through you, and you weren't twitching anything. I must have.
Yeah,
It's weird.
Twitch went down about 5 minutes after I started. So Kara, my wife upstairs, was checking it, and I saw like some weird errors, and then next thing you know, my subscriber or my watcher number or viewer number went back to 0, and then everything went kind of blank. I'm like, what the heck? And sure enough, Twitch was like right down. So I'm gonna probably do some streaming after this, just to see how it goes and maybe get some comments in there and see what it looks like.
Sweet. Cool.
Yep.
Pirate, thanks for all the awesome insider info again and the interview stuff and your idea for collaboration. That was awesome.
Thank you for having me.
Cool. Everyone in the chat room, thanks again, and we will see you next week.